My name is Diana Myers. Welcome to my podcast, The Voice of Conscience. In a few months from now, America will elect its 47th president, either one with a clear vision of diversity, equity, and inclusion, or the other pledging retributive justice for perceived enemies. But women's issue remain at center stage as it should. As in 1776, Abigail Adams, the wife of the then President John Adams, expressed frustration in the mistreatment of women. In her letter to him, she argued that though he protested and revolted against the English crown, he did not extend his same radical views to support women's rights. She noted, "You insist upon retaining an absolute power over wives." She advised, "I desire you to remember the ladies and be more generous and favorable to them than your ancestors." She warned, "Do not put such unlimited power in the hands of the husband to use us only as vassals of your sex. But you must remember that arbitrary power is like most other things which are hard and very liable to be broken." She reminded, "We as women have it in our power not only to free ourselves, but subdue our masters, and without violence throw both you and your natural and legal authority at our feet." Talk about radical woman. Well, that was the wife of President John Adams, but in 248 years later, women in America are still facing these same crises. The right to personhood, the right to make choices, the right to her personhood as it relates to her autonomy. America needs to reckon with this truth for a while. Let's reckon here, America, that in 2016, America voluntarily gave away their freedom, they surrendered their right, either by voting for Donald Trump and his Republican sycophants or refusing to cast a ballot. In 2016, the debate between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, it garnered over 71.6 million viewers. Their first debate was 84 million, which was the largest. In the third debate was the third largest viewership, and the first debate was the largest. And Donald Trump clearly and explicitly told America that should he win the election, he would nominate between two to three more conservative judges, and that Roe versus Wade would automatically be overturned, and that he would allow state to determine the application of the ban. And women who choose to have an abortion, that they should have be faced with some form of punishment. You'd have believed that after three debates, American would have been clear-eyed about what the two candidates stood for. Yet they gave Donald Trump the mandate to do exactly what he said he would do. It was Maya Angelou who told us that if someone tells you who they are, believe them the first time. And today women are being punished. In 2023, it was reported that 64,000 women and girls, and I can surmise that there was a much higher figure, as many women did not come forward for one reason or the other. These women were forced to give birth to their rapist offspring. They did not have a second chance. They were denied the choice to make their own decisions. And Donald Trump lynchman, Justice Samuel Alito, the Supreme Court judge, he has been teethering against women for a very long time. Alito argued that Roe was egregiously wrong from the start. He wrote in his vitriolic dissenting op-ed about respecting his wife's choice to disrespect and desecrate the United States flag. While he bemoaned respecting his wife's right to choose, he denied other women and girls the right to their bodily autonomy. I'm wondering, how many other rights does Alita and the other self-loather Clarence Thomas and their accomplices believe or egregiously decided? We have already experienced the overturning of the over 50-year-old Roe versus Wade. We have witnessed the gutting of an almost 59 years precedence called affirmative action. How does Alita feel about contraceptives? I understand it's on the chopping block. What about interracial marriage, slavery, and voting rights? The Donald Trump Supreme Court has a 6-3 conservative majority justice, and America rest assured that they control the power to overturn any law that they dislike. But America in 2016 was fascinated with a celebrity apprentice. We see where absolute power corrupts absolutely. However, on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, Americans have one last chance to do over, a second chance to make right the wrong, to preserve democracy, to uphold the precepts, the principles, and tenets of this great nation, the right to liberty, freedom, and the pursuit of happiness, not just for thee, but for each of us. Many of you have escaped dictatorial regime. Many of you have escaped persecution and unrest in your country of birth. America has provided a safe harbor. Many brave men and women have fought, and many have died and are memorialized to protect the rights and liberty of people worldwide. It is time for you, it is time for us to preserve this great freedom at the ballot, November 5th, 2024. Like in 1775, Patrick Henry shouted, "Give me liberty or give me death." When the American Revolution for Independence approached, he said, "Our brethren, we are already in the field. Why stand we here idle? What is it that gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is a life so dear, or peace?" Today we are calling on brave men to join with women and to echo Abigail's mantra that we have it in our power not only to free ourselves, but to subdue our masters and without violence throw both you and your natural and legal authority at our feet at the ballot box with our vote on November 5th, 2024. This ongoing war against women is testing the periphery of America's values and freedom of its own people, and the world is watching. And until next time, speak the truth and speak it ever, cause it what it will. He who hides the wrong he sees does the wrong thing still. Until then, let your conscience be your guide. My name is Diana Mars. Thank you for tuning in to the Voice of Conscience. Please subscribe and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and other social media outlets. Leave your comments